E3 2017 is just a few short days away. I know it has come around really fast as it tends to do. Took me by surprise just earlier today how soon the conference actually is. My name is Marta, and in this Red Gaming Tech video we are touching on the Xbox Scorpio. The upgraded console is of course expected to be the highlight, or one of the highlights, of Microsoft's conference. Of course, not that long ago we learned a whole bunch of information about the technical specifications of the machine, as well as of course a little preview of the real-world game performance that we can expect from the console, but we know very little outside of the technical specs. We don't know the price tag, we don't know the release date, we don't know what it even looks like, and of course we don't know the game's lineup. Now I would expect to see most, if not all of this, at E3. Maybe we'll get some of it later on in the year. I don't expect to see the full games lineup, for example, but I would fully expect to see a few games being touted for Scorpios. Of course, we're going to be seeing, well, cross-play between the two, that being Xbox One Scorpio, and the game that is on Scorpio is, of course, on Xbox One. But with this reveal expected, there's, of course, a lot of speculation going on right now. We've had some interesting comments from various people over the last couple of weeks, and today we've had some comments from the rather, shall we say, controversial analyst Michael Pachter. He, of course, is the gaming and electronics analyst from Wedbush Securities. Now, he is saying that Project Scorpio will sell for $399 US. Now, of course, he said in the past that he doesn't expect Microsoft to go above $399 because he said it would be suicide for Microsoft. So obviously it would make sense if indeed this is true, what he's saying, that above $399 would kind of be the point where you see a massive drop off in adoption rates. Then of course it would make perfect sense for the highest price possible. Now of course that doesn't mean Sony is going to take this lying down, and Pachter also touched on this a little bit as well, and he says that he believes Sony will respond by lowering the price tag of the PS4 Pro to $299 or possibly even $249, which would be crazy. But you could argue, like, look, Sony already has a big lead, and they know that Scorpio could potentially spell very big trouble indeed for them, and cutting the price, even if it's temporarily over the, say, Christmas period when Scorpio is coming out, is of course one of the ways that they could kind of fire back against Scorpio. Will it be enough? I mean, I doubt it, but, you know, $399 versus $250, obviously one of those prices is much more appealing to someone who's perhaps looking to save up or looking to buy Christmas presents or using their Christmas bonus or whatever it happens to be. I personally think it will be around $399, maybe $450 at the absolute maximum, but I don't see it going above $399 realistically. Of course, all of this is pure speculation and we just don't know at all. Obviously, Microsoft have not even hinted. We know that it's going to be a premium console, a premium price point, and I would say $399 is comfortably within that region without pricing themselves too high. But of course, they could go above it, but I'll be honest, I would be a bit surprised if they do. And Microsoft are very much gearing up to surprise us with what they've got with Scorpio. They've been doing this Feel True Power thing on YouTube and Twitter with little sort of just very short ads that remind me of those gaming ads from the 90s. Go check them out if you haven't seen them. Good in a really sort of cheesy bad way. I quite like them myself. Those gaming adverts always bring a smile to my face. And we also have some other comments from Pachter on what else Microsoft will have up their sleeves for the Scorpio, be it at E3 or otherwise. And basically, he reckons there's going to be some VR-related announcements for the Scorpio, even if they don't release this year. And there's also going to be new IPs announced as well. Now, that would make perfect sense. While we're undoubtedly going to see big budget titles coming to Scorpio as well as the Xbox One, for example, maybe Crackdown or future games, or maybe, you know, not Phantom Dust, sorry, Scalebound is going to be resurrected as a Scorpio title. You know, the potential there is rather limitless. They of course have many high-profile IPs under their belt that they could bring to Scorpio, but I would not be surprised to see some fresh blood being brought in as well. But what did he actually have to say regarding what else they will have to install for us? And he said, quote, Microsoft is most likely to announce something on the VR side with Scorpio, likely a partnership with Oculus, and a ton of games. I also expect something on HoloLens. There'll probably be light on new IP, but you never know. So that's basically what he thinks. Now, I would definitely expect something from HoloLens. We have seen very little from HoloLens ever since the initial reveal. Of course, they haven't really been doing much with VR. Of course, they entered very recently into an agreement with third parties to produce VR headsets for Windows. So it's not outside the realms of possibility that they're also going for VR as well as AR. But, of course, they have not made any announcements regarding Scorpio. It would make sense, because Scorpio definitely has the power to bring VR to the console space to a new level. Because obviously we've got the PSVR, which is cool. That's been selling very well, about 1 million units per Sony. But with the power of the Scorpio, and if you had a VR title that could really make use of all that, then Microsoft could definitely see themselves getting a bit of a kickstart in that area, and of course could add another sort of value add for the Scorpio, that in the future you could potentially purchase a VR headset and make use of the extra horsepower of the machine. So, we will all have to wait and see, of course. Microsoft's conference is not that far away at all, not really. It'll be here before we know it, and I fully expect to be full of tantalising reveals for this year and next. So, with all that said, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.